Mars has always been more than just a planet. For thousands of years, it has burned quietly in our night sky, a red symbol of mystery, danger, and possibility. Ancient civilizations feared it. Modern scientists study it. And today, humanity dreams of walking on it, building on it, and surviving on it. But hidden beneath those dreams is a darker question, one so extreme that it sounds like science fiction, yet has been discussed by real scientists and engineers. What if, instead of slowly adapting to Mars, humanity tried to force Mars to adapt to us? What if we detonated nuclear weapons on the Red Planet? Before we explore what would truly happen, make sure you subscribe. Because this story isn't just about Mars, it's about how far humanity is willing to go to secure its future beyond Earth. Why Mars is so hard to live on Mars looks familiar from a distance, but it is brutally hostile up close. Its atmosphere is incredibly thin, offering almost no protection from radiation or heat loss. The planet is cold enough to freeze carbon dioxide solid, and liquid water cannot exist on the surface for long. Mars once had rivers, lakes, and possibly oceans. But billions of years ago, it lost its magnetic field. Without that protective shield, the sun stripped away most of its atmosphere, leaving behind a dry, frozen world. Today, Mars is less than 1% as dense as Earth's atmosphere, meaning humans would suffocate instantly without protection. Any plan to live on Mars must first confront this reality. Where the nuclear idea came from. The idea of nuking Mars did not come from movies, it came from desperation mixed with physics. Scientists realised that Mars still holds vast reserves of frozen carbon dioxide trapped in its polar ice caps and underground. Carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas, and greenhouse gases trap heat. If enough of it could be released quickly, Mars could warm up. In 2015, Elon Musk openly suggested detonating nuclear weapons above Mars's poles to vaporise the frozen CO2 and thicken the atmosphere. The statement shocked the world, but it sparked a serious scientific discussion. Could nuclear explosions jumpstart Mars into becoming more Earth-like? How a nuclear explosion works on Mars? A nuclear explosion on Earth creates massive destruction because our atmosphere is thick. Shockwaves tear through cities, firestorms ignite, and radiation spreads outward. Mars is different. Its atmosphere is so thin that a nuclear blast would behave strangely. The shockwave would be weak. Most of the energy would radiate upward into space. The explosion would be more like an intense flash of heat than a city-destroying blast. This is why scientists believe nukes might be useful, not as weapons, but as heating devices to rapidly vaporize ice. Would nukes actually warm Mars? This is where the dream collapses. Mars's polar ice caps are enormous beyond human intuition. Even detonating thousands of nuclear bombs would only melt a tiny fraction of the frozen carbon dioxide. Whatever gas was released would quickly spread out, cool down, and refreeze. Scientific models show that the warming effect would be temporary at best. Once the explosion stopped, Mars would begin returning to its frozen state almost immediately. There would be no runaway greenhouse effect, no lasting transformation, and no breathable atmosphere. The atmosphere problem. Nukes can't solve. Even if every accessible molecule of carbon dioxide were released, Mars still would not reach Earth-like pressure. The planet simply does not have enough material left. NASA published a major study in 2018 concluding that terraforming Mars with current or foreseeable technology is impossible. The raw ingredients are gone. Billions of years of atmospheric loss cannot be undone with explosions. Nukes cannot replace a missing magnetic field, and without that field, any thickened atmosphere would slowly leak back into space. Radiation and contamination. Mars is already bathed in cosmic radiation. Humans on the surface would be exposed to levels far beyond what's considered safe on Earth. Nuclear detonations would not fix this problem. In fact, they would make it worse. Explosions would create radioactive isotopes in the soil, contaminating potential farming areas and complicating long-term habitation. Mars dust storms would spread radioactive particles across the planet, creating a lingering hazard that could last decades or centuries. The water illusion. One of the biggest myths is that warming Mars would instantly create oceans. Even if temperatures rose, liquid water would be unstable. It would either evaporate into the thin atmosphere or refreeze underground. Without sufficient atmospheric pressure, Water cannot remain liquid for long. Mars would not suddenly turn blue. It would remain a cold desert with brief localized changes. The scientific cost of nuking Mars. Mars is a time capsule. Its surface holds evidence of early planetary evolution and possibly ancient life. By detonating nuclear weapons, humanity would destroy pristine environments forever. Any signs of past microbial life could be erased before being studied. Mars offers a unique opportunity to answer one of humanity's biggest questions. Are we alone? Nuking to the planet would trade knowledge for impatience. The ethical dilemma. Terraforming Mars through violence raises a profound ethical question. Does humanity have the right to remake another planet before fully understanding it? Space treaties emphasize planetary protection for a reason. Once contamination occurs, it cannot be undone. Nuking Mars would mark the first time humans deliberately altered an entire world through force. What a nuked Mars would look like from Earth, almost nothing would change. There would be no dramatic glow, no visible transformation. Mars would still appear red and distant. The explosions would be small flashes lost in cosmic scale. The idea that nuking Mars would create a visible or immediate paradise is an illusion. What scientists learned from the idea. The discussion around nuking Mars taught scientists something important. Planets are not easily reshaped. Terraforming is far harder than science fiction suggests. Mars missed its window billions of years ago, and no amount of brute force can reverse deep planetary evolution. The future of Mars lies not in transforming the planet, but in transforming ourselves. The real path forward. Modern Mars plans focus on survival, not domination. Underground habitats, lava tubes, radiation shielding, closed-loop life support systems, and artificial atmospheres inside domes offer realistic solutions. Humans may live on Mars one day, but they will do so by respecting its limitations, not by trying to conquer it with fire. What if we did it anyway? If humanity ignored science and ethics and detonated nuclear weapons on Mars, the result would be failure. Mars would remain uninhabitable. Scientific knowledge would be lost and future colonization would become harder. History would remember it as one of the greatest mistakes ever made beyond Earth. Outro. Mars teaches us a lesson. Not every problem has a shortcut. Not every world can be forced to change. The idea of nuking Mars reveals more about humanity than it does about the planet. Our future among the stars will not be built with explosions, but with patience, understanding and respect for the universe we are entering. If you want more deep, realistic explorations of space, science and humanity's future, subscribe now and stay curious because the universe rewards wisdom, not recklessness. Why science fiction made it seem possible? Popular science fiction has conditioned humanity to believe planets can be reshaped quickly. Movies show terraforming as a dramatic, explosive process with instant results. But real planetary science tells a very different story. Earth took billions of years to become habitable, shaped by volcanism, plate tectonics, biology, and solar stability. Mars followed a different path early in its history, and once that path diverged, it could not simply be reversed. Nuking Mars feels appealing because it offers a shortcut. But the universe rarely rewards shortcuts. The psychology behind the idea. The idea of nuking Mars reveals something deeper about humanity. When faced with extreme challenges, we often default to force. Throughout history, humans have tried to dominate environments instead of adapting to them. Mars exposes the limits of that mindset. It is a reminder that space is not an extension of Earth's battlefield. It is an entirely different arena, governed by laws we cannot bend with power alone. The nuclear idea wasn't born from ignorance. It was born from frustration, ambition, and fear of extinction. What future generations will likely do instead. Instead of terraforming Mars, future humans will likely terraform themselves. Genetic adaptation, advanced robotics, AI-managed habitats, and cybernetic enhancements may allow humans to thrive in environments once considered impossible. Mars settlements may exist entirely underground, protected from radiation, with artificial gravity chambers and closed ecosystems. Rather than turning Mars into Earth, humanity may become something new, a species capable of surviving across many worlds without reshaping them violently.